Assalamualaikum to the lecturer. My name is Nur Emilia Ashkin binti Mawari and my metric number is 211-240-6. Our group assignment title is about the culture research in Russia. So I would like to presenting my part in introduction. First and foremost, Russia is the country that has been chosen for our cultural research. Russia is the world's largest country by landmass, spanning Eastern Europe and Northern Asia. Russia has a rich history that encompasses the rise and fall of the Russian Empire, the Soviet Union, and the contemporary Russian Federation. It is well known for its contributions to art, literature, science, and politics. Russia's cultural diversity is immense, owing to its vast geography and the large number of ethnic groups that live there. In addition, in a cultural setting, short-term orientation are focusing on current successes while respecting traditions and social obligations. In Russia, there is a strong regard for traditions and a high importance put on performing social obligations, which are consistent with short-term oriented features. For example, Russian corporate culture frequently prioritizes instant outcomes, swift decision-making, and social harmony. The significance of established ties and networks can alternatively be interpreted as a short-term orientation in which personal connections and reciprocity are crucial in economic transactions. Furthermore, long-term orientation emphasizes perseverance, thrift, and adapting traditional practices to modern contexts. Russia's long-term perspective is seen in its strategic geopolitical thinking, historical durability, and emphasis on future stability and expansion. The government's considerable planning in several sectors, including energy, defense, and infrastructure, demonstrate a long-term perspective. It is also emphasis on education and professional development, demonstrate a forward-thinking approach to ensuring long-term growth and competitiveness in the global market. Last but not least, to improve cross-cultural management understanding in Russia, it is critical to comprehend the deeply ingrained cultural norms of hierarchy and authority, which aid in navigating the economic landscape. Building trust and long-term relationships are critical to success, and effective communication requires being clear and assertive by adhering to Russian customs and traditions. Furthermore, the negotiations frequently necessitate patience and a focus on consensus building while balancing short and long-term objectives. Moreover, Western managers should adapt by incorporating Russian formality like titles and proper manners, and emphasizing long-term connections over short-term gains, as well as appreciating the value of loyalty and dedication, can result in long-lasting and profitable collaborations. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Noranis binti Subawi. My matrix number 211240349. I would like to present about background of the country. Russia, backed with important events and eras that have permanently shaped the country's customs and value, has a profound impact on the country's cultural heritage. The main historical eras that shape modern Russia are highlighted by local history. Firstly, social and etiquette. Formality is referred in Russian business etiquette according to common conventions. Until a relationship is formed, until titles and last name is customary. In Russia, communication prioritizes directness tempered with respect and civility. Secondly, international standard and practices. Russia follows several international standards in standard procedures. Since its admission to the World Trade Organization (WTO) in 2012, Russia has proven its adherence to global trade standards and protocols. As a result, the country places a heavy priority on STEM, education, and industry. Next, modern Russia economy. Russia's modern economy is heavily influenced by its natural resources, particularly oil and gas, which play a crucial role in its economic development. In recent years, Russia has also focused on diversifying its economy by investing in technology, agriculture, and manufacturing. Next, political landscape. The political landscape in Russia is categorized by a strong central government with significant influence over various aspects of society. Russia's international relations are marked by its effort to assess its influence on the global stage, balancing cooperation with major powers and regional leadership. Lastly, cultural renaissance. In recent years, there has been a cultural renaissance in Russia with renewed interest in traditional arts, literature, and history. This revival aims to preserve Russia's rich cultural heritage while fostering national pride and identity. Russia's rich cultural heritage has made significant contribution to the global culture, particularly in fields of literature, music, ballet, and science. Firstly, Russian literature is renowned for its profound philosophical and psychological insights. These literary contributions have not only enriched global literature but also provide profound insights into the human condition, resonating with readers worldwide. Second, in the realm of music, Russia has produced some of the most celebrated composers whose works continue to captivate audiences globally. The contributions of these composers have profoundly shaped the development of classical music, inspiring countless musicians and composers around the world. Next, Russian ballet has attained international acclaim through the exceptional artistry and technical proficiency of its performers. Russia's ballet's influence extends beyond its borders, shaping the standards and practice of ballet company worldwide and elevating the art form to new heights. Lastly, Russia's contributions to science, particularly during the Soviet era, have had a profound global impact. The event marked a significant milestone in the space race, showing the Soviet Union's technological capabilities and igniting a sense of wonder and possibility in the realm of space travel.
Today I will present a comparative analysis of the cultural identities and management perspectives of Russia and Malaysia. Understanding this cultural context is crucial for effective cross-cultural management. To begin, our research focuses on Russia and Malaysia, two countries with rich cultural histories and unique management practices. This understanding is essential for anyone looking to engage with businesses or organizations in these regions. Let's start with historical context. Russia's history is marked by profound transformations that have shaped its cultural identity. The era of Tsarist autocracy established a rigid hierarchical society under the absolute rule of the Tsar. This period was characterized by a strong central authority and a stratified social order, with the nobility holding significant power over the serfs and the peasantry. The influence of the Russian Orthodox Church further reinforced the social hierarchy and the cultural emphasis on community over individualism. The collapse of the Tsarist regime in 1917 ushered the Soviet era, a period of radical social and political upheaval. The Bolshevik Revolution established a communist government which sought to eliminate the old aristocratic order and replace it with a society based on socialist principles. The Soviet Union emphasized collectivism, state ownership of resources, and central planning, drastically altering the economic and social landscape of Russia. Contemporary Russia reflects the legacy of these historical periods, with a cultural emphasis on resilience, adaptability, and a collective identity. The political and economic transitions have embraced a pragmatic approach to challenges, focusing on maintaining social cohesion and stability amidst changing circumstances. Now, turning to Malaysia. Malaysia's historical context is defined by its role as a cultural and trade hub in Southeast Asia. The Malaysian peninsula has been a crossroads of maritime trade routes for centuries, attracting settlers, traders, and influences from various regions including China, India, and the Arab world. This historical role has created a multicultural society where diverse ethnic groups and coexist and contribute to national identity. The colonial period, particularly under British rule, significantly impacted Malaysia's development. The British introduced new economic policies, infrastructure, and educational systems, while also promoting the migration of Chinese and Indian laborers to work in the tin mines and rubber plantations. This period laid the groundwork for Malaysia's modern multicultural society, as different ethnic groups established themselves, contributing to the country's economic and cultural fabric. Post-independence, Malaysia has focused on economic development and modernization, transforming from an agrarian economy to a rapidly industrializing nation. Development policies like the New Economic Policy (NEP) aim to address economic disparities among ethnic groups and promote social cohesion. Today, Malaysia's cultural identity is a vibrant blend of Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous influences, emphasizing multiculturalism, mutual respect, and social harmony. In terms of cultural norms, Russia emphasizes collectivism, where the interests of the group or community take precedence over individual desires and aspirations. This collectivist orientation is deeply embedded in Russian society and manifests in various aspects of daily life, including family dynamics, social interactions, and organizational structures. Extended family often live together or maintain close ties, fostering a robust support network that provides stability and security. In the workplace, teamwork and collaboration are highly valued, and employees are encouraged to work together to achieve common goals. This contrasts with more individualistic cultures where personal achievement and competition might be more emphasized. In contrast, Malaysia also emphasizes collectivism, but within a unique multicultural framework influenced by Malay, Chinese, and Indian cultures. Malaysian society is characterized by a strong sense of community and family ties, similar to Russia. However, Malaysia's collectivist approach is deeply intertwined with, with respect for ethnic diversity and harmony. The country's cultural practices emphasize mutual respect and tolerance among different ethnic groups, creating a cohesive yet diverse social fabric. In Malaysian families, there is a strong sense of duty and responsibility towards elders, with children often expected to take care of their parents in their old age. This cultural norm extends to social interactions where maintaining harmony and avoiding conflict are paramount. Both Russia and Malaysia exhibit a respect for authority and hierarchy, but the manifestations differ slightly due to their distinct cultural contexts. In Russia, respect for authority is evident in both formal and informal settings, with clearly defined hierarchical structures. Decision-making processes are often centralized, with significant decisions typically made by those in higher positions of power. Similarly, Malaysian culture places a high value on hierarchical relationships, particularly in the context of family and social structures. Elders and those in positions of authority are accorded significant respect. Let's move on to the management perspectives. Russia's cultural identity and management practices are heavily influenced by its historical and socio-political background. Russia's history of enduring political upheavals, economic sanctions, and social transformations has shaped a culture that emphasizes perseverance and sustained efforts toward achieving goals despite obstacles. This resilience manifests in a cultural propensity for strategic planning and long-term investments. In the business context, Russian management practices often involve meticulous strategic planning and a focus on infrastructure and technological advancements. Companies in Russia tend to prioritize investments that promise long-term benefits, such as energy projects, technology development, and large-scale industrial enterprises. Additionally, Russian businesses exhibit flexibility in response to immediate economic challenges, balancing the need for long-term strategic planning with the flexibility to adapt to immediate economic pressures. Malaysia presents a different but equally intriguing management perspective shaped by its multicultural society and economic evolution. Malaysian culture emphasizes relationships and loyalty, which play crucial roles in both personal and professional settings. In the Malaysian business environment, the importance of education and continuous improvement is paramount. Malaysian companies often invest in employee development, education, and skills training to ensure sustained growth and competitiveness. This focus on long-term development is also evident in the country's national policies, promoting economic stability, technological advancement, and social equity. Despite this focus, Malaysia's business environment exhibits a high degree of adaptability and flexibility. The fast-paced and dynamic market conditions in Malaysia's necessitate quick responses to market changes, consumer demands, and technological advancements. This adaptability is crucial for navigating the competitive global market and ensuring business sustainability. When comparing the management perspectives of Russia and Malaysia, several key differences and similarities emerge. Both countries exhibit unique management practices shaped by its historical, cultural, and economic context. However, the balance and expression of these practices differ significantly. For strategic planning, Russia emphasizes long-term strategic planning, infrastructure development, and technological innovation. In contrast, Malaysia focuses on long-term relationships, loyalty, education, and continuous improvement. In conclusion, understanding the cultural context of Russia and Asia is vital for effective cross-cultural management. The key insights from our research highlight the importance of building strong relationships and respecting cultural norms to navigate the complexities of these diverse cultural landscapes. By appreciating these cultural nuances, managers can create sustainable business practices and forge long-lasting, profitable partnerships. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello to Sir Faisal and my dear fellow friends. My name is Poindran Nair and I would like to explain about my part, which is short-term orientation. So in this short-term orientation, I will like to explain about three factors, which are social and cultural values of Russia, the political climate, and also the commercial procedures. So first of all, the social and cultural values of Russia are very important in encouraging a short-term perspective. For example, Russian society is intrinsically woven with a strong focus on interpersonal relationship, customs, and also communal decisions. Because of these cultural emphases, immediate needs frequently take precedence over long-term planning. Moreover, the relationship and trust are highly valued in both personal and professional contexts. The Russian approach to business usually entails in establishing and preserving the close personal ties which are thought to be necessary for a productive teamwork. So, in this situation, the decisions are frequently motivated by the need to maintain and fortify these bonds in order to guarantee social stability and also to reciprocal assistance. Moreover, rather than concentrating on long-term strategic gains, Russians may place a higher priority on agreements and also actions in business dealing that can establish trust and business all parties immediately. And this strategy reflects a broader preference in the society for a result that strengthens the social ties between preserves and traditional values. So, in Russian society, there is a strong cultural emphasis on achieving quick and considerate result that support traditions and social cohesions. It reflects a pragmatic outlook on life in which one regards the safety and well-being of those in one's immediate social cycle as paramount. Okay, so for next, I will like to explain about the political climate. So, as all of you know, the Russia's short-term orientation also is greatly influenced by the political climate of Russia, in where planning for the long term is particularly difficult in the political environment of Russia that has resulted from the concentration power of hands of a select few. So, because of this centralization government style frequently favors stability and also the instant control over the formulation and the application of long-term plans. This reactive style of the governments is apparent in many areas, including the international relations and also the economic policy. For instance, when it comes to economic policy of Russia, the government frequently prioritize on quick fixes that can allay public concerns or speed up the resolution of urgent issues in Russia. This could include one-term financial aid, the transition economic boosters, or sudden regulatory adjustments that can offer immediate comfort but don't have a long-term or viable plan for the people of Russia. And then at the same time, it is also imperative that the political leaders act quickly in response to press issues because doing so is necessary to preserve their own authority and legitimacy. And because of this urgency, the policy and actions are frequently created with an immediate impact in mind, which emphasize short term outcomes. So, long term planning is made more difficult by the frequent changes in the policy brought about shifting the political priorities and also the need to address the solving the issues. Long term investment and strategies are challenging for both government agencies in Russia and also for the private enterprises to commit to because of the unpredictable and the volatile nature of the political landscape in Russia. At the same time, long-term investment and strategic planning also are discouraged by the current political atmosphere of Russia, and then it is essential to comprehend on how the Russia's political structure affects its short-term focus, and it also draws the attention on how the decision-making processes are being shaped by the need for an instant control and stability, which deters or impacts the people from making long-term commitments. And this background highlights the more general difficulties encountered by the people functioning in interacting with the political and economic environment agencies of Russia, where quick fixes and also quick strategies are frequently given precedence over careful and the long-term planning and also the development in Russia. So next, I'm going to focus on the last factor, which is the commercial procedures. Russia has a short-term focus, which is evident in many business practices and strategies in Russia. So, in where Russia's businesses frequently put an immediate returns and short-term financial gain, and also sustainability, and also in the long-term expansion. So, their inclination towards short-term contracts and also the quick projects turnaround is indicative of this tendency. In general, business are reticent to commit long-term projects unless there is a obvious and immediate payoff, which is motivated by the need for the rapid financial returns. And this emphasizes on the immediate financial performance is heightened or highlighted by the Russia's competitive and also frequently unpredictable business environment as the businesses fight to stay afloat in the face of shifting regulation and the economic ups and downs in Russia. And this short-term focus also further demonstrated by the management practices used by the Russian businesses. Rather than a long-term development and innovation, success is often in measured by short-term achievements such as quarterly profit, immediate project milestones. Although this strategy works well in short run, but it can also occasionally impede a long-term growth and also the development of innovative capabilities that call for a long investment horizons. It is also necessary to acknowledge the complex interaction between history, economic, social, political, and cultural elements that have influenced Russia's short-term orientation in business. A mindset centered on short-term gains and immediate survival has been ingrained by the historical due to economic instability and also rapid transition. Socially and culturally, the value has placed on preserving social harmony and also fostering the personal relationship affects the business practices that give priority to measurable instantaneous result. Uh, Politically, in Russia, the long-term planning can be dangerous and uncertain due to centralized power structure. And this viewpoint also is crucial for anyone who is willing to do business or interact with the Russian culture because it emphasizes how important it is to be flexible and able to maneuver through a situation where immediate concerns frequent take place. And this historical and economic context also emphasize the necessity to respond quickly to the opportunities and challenges that arise instead of depending only on long-term plans. And gaining insight into this element will help you to comprehend the driving forces behind the business choices which made in Russia and create more successful strategies and for the cooperation purpose and also for the investment purpose in the distinguished setting.
Hello, I'm Samadeshwari Anapurpan Ravi and my metric number is 211-24044. I would like to talk on the long-term orientation analysis as a part of this assignment. First and foremost, I would like to talk on the strategic planning and economic development. In terms of the comparison analysis, it is known that Russia has invested heavily on infrastructure, technology, and research and development to ensure future success in terms of long orientation. And at the same time, Malaysia, through the Vision of 2020 introduced by former Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad, aimed to transform Malaysia into a fully developed nation by 2020. Besides, in terms of human capital development analysis, it can be well observed that Russia has initiated the development of an economy that is competent and talented by focusing in STEM areas such as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, whereas Malaysia has focused its aim on the educational institutions such as University Malaya and the Malaysian Institute of Technology that has initiated the several steps to enhance and improve the standard of educational and skill training. Next, through the analysis of innovation and technological growth, Russia subsidized by the Initiatives and Subsidies Fund R&D operations in a variety of sectors, pushing businesses to explore more creative ideas. And at the same time, Malaysia, through the Innovation for the years 2021 till 2030, are one of the initiatives aimed at promoting R&D, encouraging interaction between academics and businesses. As a part of long-term orientation initiative of infrastructure development, Russia has launched a number of long-range construction initiatives with the goal of improving interaction, enabling commerce. For example, expanding Arctic shipping lanes was one of the initiatives carried out. In comparison, Malaysia has funded considerable expenditures in the realm of transportation, notably as the city's mass rapid transit (MRT) system. It can be concluded that Russia and Malaysia has taken initiative in infrastructure development by maximizing the commerce system. In terms of the corporate management and ethical value analysis, it can be proven that Russia has strengthened the governance of companies in Russia, include increasing openness and incorporating global accounting practices. On the other hand, Malaysia, through Malaysian Code on Corporate Governance, establishes concepts and standards of excellence for Malaysian businesses to promote openness, responsibility, and integrity values as well. As a part of long-term orientation analysis of environmental sustainability, it cannot be denied that Russia, through the National Forest Policy, promotes responsible management of forest methods and replanting programs. Incomparable with Malaysia, environmental sustainability has been created through regulations such as the National Policy on the Environment and the National Policy on Climate Change. Overall, it can be concluded that Russia and Malaysia has taken similar kind of initiatives and efforts in sustaining the long-term orientation. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Haris Raj, and I'm here today to share the recommendation our team made to avoid problems during this cross culture between Russia and Malaysia. First are culture norms and practices. Both cultures value clear leadership structure, but for different reasons. Russia emphasized title and position, while Malaysia prioritized creating a respectful and inclusive environment for its diverse workforce. Despite the differences, both cultures emphasize teamwork. Russian leader can achieve this by respecting their hierarchy, while nations leaders should promote cooperation and understanding between ethnics. Next is building and maintaining the relationship between workers. From this point, I want to highlight the importance of building strong relationships and fostering trust for successful businesses dealings in both Russia and Malaysia. While there might be slight culture differences in how these relationships are built, both cultures emphasize their significance. For example, in Russia, building trust will take time and dedication, while in Malaysia, open communication, active listening, and culture awareness are key to building partnerships. To make these things happen, manager in Malaysia should foster a welcoming and inclusive environment. Furthermore, strategic plan and adaptability are important. As we know, the successful businesses in Russia and Malaysia requires a balance between short-term planning and long-term planning and short-term adaptation. While Russia emphasized strategic planning for infrastructure and technology, it also needs to adapt to economic changes. Um, Conversely, meanwhile in Malaysia, prioritize the continuous learning and workforce development to address a rapidly changing market. Moreover, we recommend the investment prioritize. We know that both Russia and Malaysia prioritize long-term economic growth through strategic investment. Uh, Russia focuses on infrastructure, technology, and industry for long-term return. Meanwhile, in the Malaysia, emphasize developing a high-skilled workforce through education and training. Both approach aims to create a competitive advantages and ensure the future economic stability. Next is communication and decision making. The point here is different. I would like to show the difference between the communication and decision making in both style in both country. In Russia, there's a balance of directness and culture respect. Decision making prioritize social harmony and quick result, even it's mean sacrificing the long term relationship. Meanwhile, in Malaysia, collaboration and open communication are the key. Respect for diverse viewpoints, foster creativity, and team spirit. Decisions are made collaboratively to be well-rounded and inclusive. Response to economic challenges is our next recommendation. Both countries should consider adapting to the economy. It it is because the Russia learns from past economic struggles to create a plan that can be adjusted quickly during economic downturns. This might involve budget changes, industry support, and import substitution. Meanwhile, in Malaysia, they emphasize flexibility to navigate challenging times. The government and companies use various measures like financial aid to help people and businesses adapt to changing market demands. The last one is emphasizing resilience and perseverance, where uh, where, where emphasizing the team's ability to adapt and persevere. Meanwhile, Malaysia emphasized its multicultural workforce as a strength. Managers in Malaysia should promote collaboration and respect for diversity to maximize team potential and problem solving. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ali Faisal bin Ramizul. I will conclude the group assignment for our group cross-cultural management. In conclusion, the research on Russia's cultural dynamics reveals that the country's historical, social, and economic context profoundly shape its cultural norms and business practices. Russia's long-term orientation is evident in its strategic planning, investment in infrastructure, technology, and human capital, as well as in key sectors like energy and defense, where sustained development and global competitiveness are prioritized. Conversely, Malaysia's approach is influenced by its multicultural society and strategic policies aimed at social harmony, educational advancement, and sustainable development. Initiatives like Vision 2020 and the 12th Malaysia Plan emphasize inclusive growth and technological innovation, reflecting a balance between economic growth and social equity. Success in both Russia and Malaysia requires understanding cultural context, building strong relationships, respecting local customs, and maintaining effective communication and cultural sensitivity. By integrating these cultural nuances, managers can foster trust, create sustainable business practices, and forge lasting, profitable partnership in these diverse landscapes. Thank you so much.